Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the next episode of Real Spit with Spitty. I'm your host, Spitty. Let's get right to it. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to the channel, watching the videos, commenting. Please, if you're watching this video right now, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and give me some feedback. Let me know what other topics you want me to talk about so we can, so we can tap in. Now, the first topic that I want to talk about today is it beneficial for up-and-coming rappers to pay big rappers, popular rappers for features or popular artists for features? And I'm going to just say what I, normally say to clients and what I, feedback that I give a lot of people. I don't think that in some cases, I don't think that it's worth doing it. Reason being is because, and I think you have to go into it with certain expectations. That's the biggest thing. A lot of times, artists that's on the come up, they'll get a feature from a big name artist with the expectations that that artist is going to be posting them on social media, that they're going to turn their song up, or, hey, if I, do hella promo on the back end of this song, then this artist ain't going to have a choice but promote the song with me. And about 9 times out of 10, that don't happen. So if you come into it with the expectations that this artist that you're getting a feature from is going to be promoting your song, then you've already lost. Here's the thing. A lot of our favorite rappers are getting hit up by so many artists to do features. Could you imagine how boring an artist feed would be if it was full of them promoting all of these songs that they was featuring on? At that point, a lot of people would just kind of tune out to that artist and what they're talking about. So for the most part, an artist that got some clout or got some motion in the game, they're not going to be posting a feature that they've done with you. So that's the first thing, is having that expectation. And that's where a lot of artists is losing, is having that. What I would say is, when it comes to getting features with other artists, with big time artists, when you're on the come up, I think that up and coming artists needs to build the relationship, need to build like a rapport. Even if you do have to pay for it, because business is business, you should definitely build a relationship so that it just makes more sense for this artist to actually want to post the song that y'all did together. Or the smartest thing to do is, if you get a feature from an artist, that up front, make sure that in your contract with that artist that you lock in for a music video, lock in for them to also post the content on social media. It's almost like paying an influencer, and you kind of got to look at it that way. For an artist, for a bigger artist, is not much of a benefit for them to post up and coming artists. So that's why in most cases they don't actually post the content, and they won't post the song, or they won't, tap in, with the up and coming artists. And again, if an artist is getting hella inquiries from a bunch of, different artists and getting paid for features, then it's just not in a, best interest for them to be, posting and having a feed of all of these up and coming artists. But for you as an up and coming artist, you have to utilize that artist's fan base, making sure that you getting photos with the artist, making sure you shooting vlogs if y'all work together in the studio. And then nowadays, with so many artists, send the songs back and forth and not even working together, less chances that you're going to be able to even get that content out the gate. So that's another thing that you want to make sure to lock in, is make sure you're able to actually get in the studio and vibe with that artist. And I know this might sound funny, but don't be afraid to get the artist to like do their verse over, or, or to come with something different, because now that we in this punch in era and everything's all about just, everybody just going to the studio punching in, like, you almost have to accept like what an artist just gives you, because shit, they might have sat and punched in for about an hour or so, and now you just got to accept just, what they, what they giving you. So I would definitely say that, like, if you're getting a feature from an artist, man, it's quality over quantity, man. If you're not liking like what they put on your song, get them to do their first over, man. Like, I feel like too many artists are afraid to, give feedback when they paying for a feature, but I feel like that's a super important aspect of it. The most important part, though, is the relationship builder. You have, like, for instance, I remember when Young Dolph got a feature with Gucci. And that was, a part of them actually building and establishing their relationship. And in some cases where it makes sense, especially if you've been already like putting in work as an independent, doing stuff yourself and making a name for yourself and building, then I think the next step, gaining more fans, is to get a feature. And that's something that you should do like at a certain point in time, but not like if you just coming out the gate, or not if you still in that mode of actually building building your followers, building your base, and all of that. Because what you don't want to do is build your base based off of another artist's name, because that's not going to be beneficial for you. That's not going to help you at all. A lot of artists, a lot of managers come into this game, thinking that it's a cheat code, thinking that is, something easy that they can just do, just 1, 2, 3, and okay, this is how my career gonna pop off. But actually, you can mess around and push yourself, steps behind in what you need to be. You know what I mean? Like if you got some bread for a feature, I would say instead of getting a feature, I would put that money toward promotion for the current songs that you have. I would tap in with some influencers. I would tap in with some streamers and some different people that can help you to build your brand, and not just, try to take the shortcut and just say, okay, if I get a feature with this artist, then boom, I'm going to, be able to pull in a fan base. And now my music, now my music going to be hot. You know what I'm saying? I've seen so many artists that buy these features and it had these expectations that it's going to be more than what it is. And then after they done wasted 5, 10, 20 bands on, trying to make this feature work, even up to 50 bands, depending on the type of promo that you're doing. If you're doing like some type of local radio campaign or something like that. I've seen so many artists waste so much money on trying to get features when in actuality, they just need to work on doing promo to actually build themselves as an artist and build their fan base, because that's really where it's at. So don't get caught up in the hype trying to get features from artists with a big name, thinking that that's going to be your saving grace, thinking that that's going to be what's going to, take you to the top, because you can mess around and just waste, a whole bunch of money. And it's like people would just be listening to your song just to hear that feature artist. So I would definitely say, work on building your brand first. Work on building your base, and making sure that you have a strong base. Now, after you do that, then there are times where it could make sense to get a feature with an artist and tap in with their fan base to help expand what you're doing. That's what I would say on that. Don't follow the hype. Don't try to, build your audience off of another artist's audience. You need to build your base first and then use a feature to expand. And that's Real Spit with your boy Spit. Yes, sir.